What's up? We got Legend of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 14, Moonshot. So this episode starts off with Rip taking Nate's grandfather and telling him to go through a new identity, going a new identity, but then the legends show up to that exact same place and he is not there. So they discover that he's actually in NASA in the 70s, not in the 60s. So they go there. So they go to NASA in the 70s and discover him. So Rip basically gets punched in the face, and he's like, "Hey, I told you not to come back here." Yeah, so the legends find him, and he's like, "Hey, Amaya," and she's like, yeah, bro, Dr. Midnight's dead." And he's like, yeah. He's like, "What is Rick doing in jail?" And yes, I never see him again. So yeah, so they take him on. But then we see Earbarb take the place of one of the crewmate there. One of the crewmate there. So one of the crewmate there. So obviously, they decided to go and so they decided to go and help. So yeah, they decided to go and help this guy. To go and help this guy. So obviously, so he basically tells me that he wants to go and see. Rip basically pulled him out of the timeline, so he never got to say goodbye to his wife and Nate's dad, Hank. So obviously, so Nate's dad, Hank, so he wants to go see them, but basically Nate but Amaya's like, "Hey, if you go see your son, it could change the timeline. It can make Nate either be a different person or not be alive." So yeah, so you gotta choose. So it's like it could make Nate not alive. So yeah. So he's like to rig a con. So Stein, Mick, and Jax are all rigged into being like NASA people. So Ray decides to go up, and he sees Thawne in the spaceship, and he's like, "Who's not Deadshot?" Because the guy who plays him reminds me of Deadshot. He's like, "Not Deadshot." He's like, "Who's Thawne?" And he's like, "Where's the other guy?" So he basically is like, "Hey, you don't have your speedster powers." And he's like, "Come on, Ray, I don't need my speedster powers to kick your ass." So basically, yeah, it's kind of funny. So basically, they fight. Boom, gravity fight. Bow, 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 bow. 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 And then I had to put that in there. So then what happens is basically how he likes the team, how Caitlin, and Cisco were quite a team. Even though Barry pulled him out of the timeline when he wouldn't know who they are. But I'm guessing he does. Either Barry told him, or he went back in time and learned all this. It's not really specific on how he knows about Caitlin and Cisco if he's not the Eobard Thawne from our timeline. So it's really confusing how he knows about this Eobard, how this Eobard knows about Caitlin and Cisco. It's never explained. Maybe in Flashpoint, Barry decided, while he was caged shot, Barry decided to basically show him a PowerPoint on them. Who knows? Because this Eobard Thawne wouldn't know who they are. But somehow he does. It's kind of confusing how that works. So, yeah, so basically, his grandfather rigged a contest to basically, so he sees his son. So that's when young Hank Hayward shows up. But that's when Nate's grandfather sacrifices himself to save the team by going into the time stream and dying. R.I.P. So Nate basically says about how his father was never. He basically says about how he misses his dad, about how his father was never there. It's not fair. And he's like, no, it's not fair. But sometimes you have to go with it. So then what we see is that Maya. Nate's like, hey Amaya, you know, Ray told me that we can never be together because of your destiny. So checks in, and she's like, hey, checks in Basie when she returns home, and when she sees is that destruction, and then she sees her granddaughter Mari as Vixen. Don't know how that was in the PowerPoint, but okay. So, don't know how that was. But that's kind of where the episode ends. I thought this episode was a good one. It was good. It was really good. It was cool seeing Thawne and Ray basically saves. Ray kind of saves the timeline, but also changes it by having him put the flag on the moon. So, and the flag is one of the spirits of destiny. So they have the spear, but yeah. So anyway, so now that they have all the spear. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for more Legends of Tomorrow.